Now, what happens if there's inclement weather, if it is snowing, hailing, or some other dangerous condition outside and you need to know if you have court? Now, if you're a defendant, if you're a juror, or if you just want to know if court today is canceled, the best way to look is at the court website itself. So for Colorado, if you just search Colorado courts, you'll be able to find the website, but it's coloradojudicial.gov. They redid their website at the end of 2024, so it might look a little different if you've been here before. At the very top, they will have some red alerts, and these are the new information that will be here. This morning, when it was really cold and snowy, there was some delayed start. So let's look. If it was 6 o'clock in the morning and we wanted to know if we had to get to court at 8:30, what we would have seen. So today it was Denver, Elbert, and Pueblo County had delayed starts. Court actually wasn't canceled. So if you had to go to jury duty or you had court, let's say you had a traffic appearance at 8:30 in Pueblo, what would have happened? Well, it says everything is going to open at 10 a.m. That means instead of showing up at 8:30, you're going to show up at 10. Court isn't technically rescheduled or anything. You just, everything that they were going to handle at 8:30, they're also handling at 10. Plan to be there a while, because everybody that had to be at court is also there with everyone that has to be at court at 10. Now, what if it's late weather and bad weather at the end of the day? Sometimes we have early closures. And so what's going on today? Well, for right now, the 16th district, which is Bent, Crowley, and Otero counties, are closing early. That means if you have an appointment or you have something that's going on, let's say you have to be at probation by the end of the day, better be there before 3 o'clock, because if you go after 3, then you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to do anything that the court is supposed to let you do. Now, let's say you had court at 3:30. What would happen? You can either show up early and see, because in the afternoon, most courts start at 1:30, or your court case is going to be rescheduled. How do you know when it's going to be rescheduled? Well, you'll have to look at the docket. If you don't have an attorney, you can call the clerk's office, but they're going to get a lot of these calls right now. So if you can look online, you probably want to. You're going to be looking for a docket. It's on the first page of the court website under the docket date. There is some information there. You just go to docket search. You go through, you can type your case number if you have one. You can search for your first name and last name. Make sure it's spelled the same way that the court has it, and then click Find Dockets. And if you're supposed to be in court on a particular date or time, it will tell you. Sometimes it takes a little bit for this to be populated. Say court was canceled today. If you look today, most of the time that next court date isn't going to be there, but by, let's say, 3 or 4 business days, it definitely will. Sometimes, too, when they actually cancel court on these notices, it will tell you, if you've canceled court today, everyone who is supposed to have court today needs to show up tomorrow or show up on the next Monday. So you just have to pay attention if you don't have an attorney. It's a great reason why having an attorney can really, really help you, because a lot of times either the clerks will email us or we will email the clerks to get a new court date, so we don't have to worry about that. And so you're not in court with every single person who had court both that day and the day that the court was closed for snow. But that's how to figure it out. The biggest thing is, when in doubt, if court is open, show up. But make sure that you're safe. There are also ways that you can show up. If, let's say, it's really snowy outside, there's absolutely no way you can get there. Show up virtually instead of just not showing up. Call the clerk instead of not talking to anybody. That way you don't risk getting it further in trouble. Everyone knows it snows. Everyone knows that there's bad weather. And so people do try to help you out if you show that you have the initiative to try to do it yourself.